Thank you so much for signing up for the workshop. I'm pretty lit up about Continuum and pretty lit up about holding containers and creating spaces for other people to practice, to regulate their nervous system, to heal their bodies, heal their ancestry, and experience the magnitude of all the things that are possible in a Continuum practice. With that, the invitation here is to watch this video till the end. It allows us to take the most advantage of our in-person time and to use that time well. And if you could possibly watch this without distractions, that would be really helpful. So when I look out into the world, what I see is a lot of people walking around with a tremendous amount of personal, ancestral, and collective history. And what I see less of is people who are deeply connected to the earth, people who are able to slow down to the pace of nature, people who have a capacity to continuously receive the nourishment that life and the earth and the cosmos is offering us. And one of the reasons I love Continuum is because it offers us an opportunity to rewild our bodies, to wash, rinse off, to step into this stream and get cleared of a little bit at a time of our personal and collective and ancestral histories. I'm passionate about creating spaces for people to be able to drop deeper inside themselves. I'm passionate about creating spaces where people can co-regulate with life, to create spaces where you can be with your own experience or be with your own process with even more resource and even more capacity to allow a deeper unfolding, to allow an actual transformation, to allow an integration or a discovery to happen. In the practice of Continuum, one of the main things we're doing is we're slowing down. We're slowing down to the pace of sensation. We're slowing down to the pace of pleasure. We're slowing down to the pace of receiving and nourishment. And so during class, when we get to the portion when we're practicing, and that what's going to happen is we'll probably do some teaching, some kind of arriving, and then there'll be a sequence that I teach, which is basically a combination of sounds and subtle movement that we're going to do. And then we'll practice for some period of time. And in that practice is when you'll be on your mat or in your nest, whatever language you want to use, doing the practice. And then we'll come back together after that practice. Let's talk about the space that you need to have to be able to do the practice at home or wherever you'll be. You want to be in a space where you feel comfortable, totally relaxing, which means people won't be interrupting ideally and needing things from you if that's possible. You want to be in a space where you feel comfortable making sounds and noises, potentially crying, potentially making sounds that other people may not have heard you make before, and potentially a place where you can allow yourself to feel and express sounds of pleasure. One of the benefits of actually doing this practice at home or in the privacy and comfort of your own space is that it often allows actually more freedom without being self-conscious about what other people are hearing. You want to have a space that is soft enough for you to lay down, but also firm enough for you to be able to sit up. That could be in a chair and a bed. It could be on a yoga mat or a rug or a sheepskin with a cushion. So whatever's available to you. And then sometimes it's helpful to have like a foam roller or a little like firm ball or like things that you would do explorations with your body or self-massage. I want to talk about some of the real practical benefits of the Continuum practice. It's been an essential component of my life for the last 18 years. There's so many things that could happen in a Continuum exploration. One is the gift of co-regulation of the nervous system. Another is the gift of shifting brain states and body states into a place where the primordial intelligence takes over. The underlying parts of your body and your embodiment that know how to digest, metabolize, and integrate experience. So one of the reasons that I regularly practice Continuum is because as a person who's in a continual healing process and a person who's doing my best to show up to everything that life is offering me, I'm constantly going through emotional and physical and psychological challenges, so to speak, as the ancestral, personal, and collective history moves through me. I need a space where I can slow down, be with what I've been experiencing, and allow my system to find a new homeostasis based on all of the changes and transformation that I've gone through in my personal process or the challenges in my life. What a gift it is to have a place where you can regularly go back to, where you don't need another person, where you don't need to pay a whole bunch of money for a session or a group experience. What a gift it is to be able to have a place to regularly be able to come home. And that sense of home that many of us are looking for is a felt sense experience. And it's inherent in all of us. So in the trauma world that I've been trained in and work in, we use these terms imprint and blueprint. Imprint, the things that happen to us that cover up our blueprint. Blueprint is our essence. It's that part of us that has a continuous connection to health and wellness and source, God, whatever language you want to use. And so it's amazing to be able to have a practice where I can digest my imprint and land in the experience of myself and let myself be held by the blueprint. Another gift for me over the years of Continuum is that my ability to experience wellness and pleasure has tremendously evolved. I come from a history of Holocaust surviving, non-surviving Jews, Soviet Jews, which have their own complex level of density, so to speak, and darkness. And it used to be tremendously hard for me to feel and just sit here and feel safe, to feel goodness in my body, to feel pleasure, to enjoy and experience simple pleasures of life, of like watching the green leaves flow in the wind, which is one of the things that I'm seeing here in my view. All of that requires a sense of physiological safety and a nervous system that knows how to be in the parasympathetic in an integrated, restful state. And in Continuum, we use sound to help us access that state. If we look at the body and we see that we formed all of this from basically a sperm and an egg and a lot of support from our mother and our mother's body, the great design is that we've created this container for this lifetime, and this is our container for this lifetime. And so this container, what is it really here for? What does it want from us? Well, I would propose the possibility that it wants our consciousness. It wants our presence. It wants our full soul's inhabitants. And when it has that, in my experience, it feels better, it flows better, it experiences like a sense of like wellness. Like I can feel the wellness of it. I'm like, yeah, I get to be fully me and I get to fully inhabit this. And when I have that and let myself have that experience, then I'm vibrating in my essence. I'm vibrating in my essential vibration. And the world knows that I'm here and I'm here with the world. And there's this direct experience of relationship with all of life and the people around me. And so we use our own sounds and we direct them into our body. And we let our body receive the vibration of our own sounds. And in Continuum, we have a large taxonomy of sounds, over 100 sounds. And you slow down to let yourself experience that which you're offering yourself in the sound. Then you're starting to come into a direct vibrational, sensorial experience of yourself, with yourself. And that starts to open up a whole slew of other things that start to happen, which I won't get into, and I'll invite your system to teach you what that is. So the other reason that we gather in class together is because there's a field that gets created. Even though we're in our own spaces, like on Zoom, in our own little rectangles, there's a shared field that I'm inviting to be cultivated, that when we practice together, we can each go deeper. When we each come into a space and we bring ourselves to it, the collective has access to more medicine. One of the invitations is to let yourself become more aware of the field. What does that mean? That means maybe placing your attention on the space around you, seeing maybe if you can invite your skin to feel more porous, especially if you assume, because some of us come from places where what was around us was not actually healthy for us to receive. But if you assume that there's an inherent benevolence in the field, an inherent blueprint in the field of loving, welcoming, holding, and then you bring your attention to that, then your system might just soften and receive and discover what it feels like to be held. And then what happens when you let yourself be held? It's a continuous unfolding that we're going to be engaging in. So this is like a hard ask these days. It would be so amazing if you could show up to class on time or early and give your full presence to it. Turn off all notifications, close every other app on your device or on your laptop, remove any other kind of distractions in your environment, turn the phone off if you're using a laptop. Give yourself the space, the uninterrupted, continuous gift of your continuous presence. That's a contribution for you, for your system in today's day and age, and it's a contribution to the whole group. So that's one of my asks, is for you and for all of us to just come and be present with what is together.